Let me show you how I preserve my fresh tomatoes for up to 6 months without refrigerator and how you can too. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Oge. I'm a healthy living content creator based in Abuja, Nigeria. I share tips on wellness, health and everything in between. If you're a new subscriber, good to have you here. You're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by to watch my videos. So let's dive into it. So this full basket of tomato was going for 22,000 naira and I shared it with someone and I got half because I didn't think I needed all that quantity. So I took half. And I also got some shombo, and this is shombo. I didn't do much of red bell, habanero pepper. I prefer the shombo, which is known as cayenne pepper as well. So this particular part of trying to blend your fresh tomato is one of the tedious. You have to remove all the heads of the pepper. I did this one after the other, and this was me washing the tomato for the second time. I gave it a good wash for up to 3 times, and I made sure all the dirt were out, and I would wash it again after this particular point. You find dry leaves, dirt and sands in between when you're washing, so you need to be very careful. Make sure you're washing properly. And for someone like me, when I see any rotten tomatoes, I take it out. So this is after washing the tomatoes in my backyard, and this is it. There was nobody around to help me take it to the grinding mill, and it was 2 paint buckets plus the extra, which is the one for the pepper. So I didn't know how to just go 2 or 3 times, so I had to start using my blender. Initially I wanted to use my blender to just reduce the size and then carry it once to the grinding mill, the commercial grinding mill, but there was there was light, and so when I was blending and the thing was just going fast, and I was like, okay, this is not a bad idea, and my blender has the capacity, so I just decided to blend everything. But if you know you don't have such a big blender, or you're not sure if it's going to do the job, please take it to the commercial grinding mill. So what I did in order to avoid much water is I don't pour out all of it. I remain a little bit on the blender and add more tomatoes into it. This is after blending, and I'm stirring to make sure the ratio of pepper and tomato and thickness is evenly distributed. So if you notice, you see I didn't add onion to the blend. That's because I didn't want it to be saturated, and I don't want anything to affect the shelf life of this tomato paste that is going to be preserved outside the refrigerator. So I'm done stirring it at this point. I would put it in fire. So I thought my gas could actually do the job for me, but this is one in the gas and then one is in the charcoal pot, but it wasn't giving me what I want. The boiling wasn't so fast, and this was not even all. So I was pouring it batch by batch, so it was going to delay me. At this point, it was already time has gone already. Like the whole of my day has been put into this whole tomato thing at this point. So I had to put some in the sieve so that it can drain the water after it has boiled for a while. So I had to go look for someone in the neighborhood that cooks with firewood, and I found someone somewhere in my neighborhood, and luckily for me, there are people that I relate to once in a while. So I just told them, please, I would need to boil this thing. It doesn't, so I had to buy firewood and all of that, and I stayed there for it to boil. So this took a lot of time.
A few moments later.
So this is like almost an hour of boiling in the firewood, and the difference is actually clear. It's faster and the water has reduced drastically. So initially putting it on the sieve was just to reduce the water a little bit, not to take out all the water. So the moment the water drained out a little, I just transferred it to this pot when I got to this house. Luckily, they had a black charcoal pot like this one. I was scared of using my other pot that was not used on the firewood. I didn't know how I was going to get to wash it to be crystal clean again. So this is it boiling and boiling and boiling. Now, the boiling is the preservation of these tomatoes.
2 hours later.
If it doesn't boil properly, it's going to start developing mold in few days. It won't even get up to a week. So this is it again after 2 hours. The water is still drying, and this is me so exhausted and tired after a long day.
1 hour later.
So as you can see at this point, the water is almost completely dried out from me, just little water, but I still have to let it to dry out completely. I'm not going to strain it. So, and I didn't cover this pot while cooking. I didn't cover it because it's going to increase the moisture content and it won't dry fast. So it's best to open it while it's boiling. Reasons being that it might overflow. One, two, it's not going to add an additional moisture as a result of the vapor. So at this point, our tomato is ready after 3 hours plus some minutes. And so this is me trying to sterilize the already washed bottles. I would sterilize them with warm water. You can also do this with some water and vinegar mixture. The reason I'm doing this now is because I had to stay put with the tomato at someone else's house. I couldn't leave it out. So once the water simmers a little bit, it's good enough. Don't allow it to get too hot so it doesn't break the bottles. Now, my bottles are well sterilized, including the covers. Then I would bring them out. Make sure the hot water gets into every corners of the bottle to prevent any form of spoilage. So after this, I'll bring them out and begin to put the tomato in it. There's a last step that ensures that your tomato is properly preserved after this. So friends, if you have watched this video up until this point, please do me a favor to like, subscribe and share this video to your friends and loved ones. And if you got value, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comment section. So the bottles are properly clean and I bent them down so the water can't go out of it. When I am sure it is properly dry, at this point, it is night already and I am just trying to be as fast as I can. It's been an exhausting day. So I take a tablespoon to put them inside because a bigger spoon wouldn't do the job. So you can see the tomato is well drained or dried from the fire. And this is all I got from that quantity of tomato. Half basket of a big tomato that came out when it was fresh in 2 big paint buckets. So eventually I got 7 jars of tomatoes. If you notice, I didn't blend my tomato to be very smooth. This is how I like my tomato and stew. When you're doing this, you have to ensure that it is well seated or layered inside the glass jar. This will help in preservation as well. There shouldn't be like an obvious gap in between the layering. With that little leftover, which I'm going to use of course the same day. So this is me cleaning out the mouth of the bottle and before I cover it each. So I'll do the same process for all of them before covering it. You guys, I can't believe I'm almost done. That was the feeling on my mind while I was doing this part, like at the end of it, since morning. Okay, it is well. Probably because I didn't have a helping hand, so I had to do everything and then I took it slow and steady as much as I could do so I don't break down or get burned out at a result of this. After covering tightly, I will now put in a pot of hot water for it to pasteurize. This is a form of local pasteurization. Allow it to boil for a little while and then I bring it out.
A few moments later.
So this took about 15 to 20 minutes thereabouts. At this point, you shouldn't open it again. The tight covering is the preservation, is what is going to seal the preservation. No opening until you're ready to use. So guys, our tomato is ready and you can see we have 7 jars of fresh preserved tomatoes. So this can stay outside the refrigerator for up to 6 months without going bad. Of course, with this method, so no opening until you're ready to use. If you're sure you're not going to use one of the jar at a time, put the remaining one in the refrigerator to preserve it. That's it guys. I hope you got value and you'll be trying out this before the scarcity of tomatoes sets in. And if you got value, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Until next time, I remain yours truly, living healthy with Oge.